Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we've got the Undertaker over here, not the WWE one, but the Undertaker that dominated the Hearthstone meta for a very long time, took forever to get nerfed, it drove people crazy, and that was kind of the MO for the Ben Brode era of Hearthstone, where balance changes didn't happen all that much. But right now, we are seeing arguably the longest route that I can't even recall a time since Ben Brode left the team that we've seen this little change in such, well, it feels like a long period of time in today's game, but I want to go over like exactly what's happening, why I think it's happening, and just, yeah, go over like how long it actually took for a card like the Undertaker to get nerfed. It's crazy to think how much things have changed. And I also want to let you guys know there are free packs, mega bundles, and standard bundles you can get today for free by watching my stream or a lot of other people's streams. We'll talk about that as well. And of course, we do have our regular giveaway on our channel of 2 regular pre-orders, 3 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video link down in the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'll add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button. Make me go broke. So before we go into big thing about the Undertaker, I just want to make sure you guys do not miss out on this today. There is theory crafting going live starting at 9 a.m. Pacific all the way till 9 p.m. Pacific. I'm doing the first 6 hours. If I can survive longer, I'll go longer. Typically, I do 6 hours. I will have mega bundles to give away. I will have standard bundles to give away, and there'll be drops for 2 packs. So no matter what, you can get free stuff. But if you want to come hang out on my channel, yeah, twitch.tv/Zeddy. I'll be going for at least 9 a.m. Through 3 p.m. Pacific. That starts 3 hours after this video goes live. And I do have the fastest drops on Twitch. Nobody has faster drops. Nobody also has slower ones. They're all the same, but technically mine are the fastest. It's just tied with everybody else. So if you want the fastest drops or just want to check out the new cards and all that stuff, come hang out. You can get some drops and maybe get a mega bundle, maybe get a standard bundle. You never know. And that's all courtesy of Blizzard. The other giveaway is out of my pocket, just to keep it clear, because yeah, I want to be very transparent about that. Anyways, we were talking about the Undertaker, right? This card here, it launched with Naxxramas. It was insane. It drove people crazy, and it got even worse with GVG. The card actually launched in July 22nd of 2014. And can you imagine a meta outlier, something clearly broken in Hearthstone, lasting all the way for till January 29th, right? That's like half a year of waiting for a broken card to get nerfed. Just purely busted. I remember Ixar did an AMA and he said like the Undertaker Hunter was like the highest win rate deck they had ever seen outside of maybe like day 1 Demon Hunter. It was insane. And it took that long, but it got me thinking about like what's going on right now. The game, I feel like, hasn't felt more stale than ever. And I had to go back all the way to August 19th, which doesn't maybe seem that long ago, but that's over 2 months now. Over 2 months since and it was just 2 balance changes, right? We got a Mirdrassil, which is still insane at 5 mana, still sees plenty of played spell damage Druid, and we saw Reserve Spot, which did dial back hand buff Hunter, which we don't see a ton of anymore, so that was really nice. And that was it, no buffs, nothing. We got one more patch after the mini set launched with no changes, or nerfs at least. We got buffs, no nerfs, and all we got out of that was like Egg of Kalos, Warlock, which I argue like it was kind of neat for a bit, but my god, that gets boring fast. Regardless, he did do something, okay? And yes, we are getting Mr. Clocksworth nerf, but let's be real, that's not a nerf for balance. That is purely because it just makes the game take forever, right? And we haven't seen this in forever. And we've also never seen a dev comment where they go over saying we've seen community discussions around the power level of quests and appreciate everyone's who's taken the time to share their thoughts. Our goal this expansion was to bring quests closer to the level they reached in their first 2 appearances, being the original Ungoro and Saviors of Uldum, rather than the overperformance we've seen with quest lines in United and Stormwind. For that reason, we're not making further quest buffs in this patch. We'll continue monitoring their power level following the mini set. And if you looked at like the mini set and the expansion coming up, there was not much quest support for any of the quests. Like, it's just not going to change. So it comes to the question, is their balance philosophy different? Are they just going to release stuff and just kind of let it rot? or let it die or whatever. But I feel like this all started back with the Starship expansion, the Great Dark Beyond, where they basically, I don't know if I can find the quote, but they basically, I'll paraphrase, say they're trying to keep things more in line with this power level rather than Perils in Paradise and Whizbang. Because if you actually go to like through your collection, it is incredible. It's incredible. We're not going to count every card because I did that already off stream or off the video with somebody. But Perils in Paradise saw nearly, so far, this expansion's not done yet. And you can argue there's so many cards that could still be hit, has seen just under 30 cards nerfed, that expansion. And Whizbang's Workshop, if you include every change to Ziliax, it's over 30. Or if you just include Ziliax as one card, it's relatively the same. It's around like 25 cards. There are so many cards that got balance adjusted from the sets, and they still dictate everything, right? They still do. And I feel like it just got to a point, and we're at this point, we talked about it a lot, where they wanted to lower power level, starting with the Great Dark Beyond, which, by the way, that went to hell when StarCraft came out. The Great Dark Beyond, like, has done some work, right? For sure. In particular, if we look at the neutral Starship package with like Arcanite Defense Crystal, which did get nerfed, don't get me wrong, but StarCraft like just blew everything out of the water. They had to nerf like every single deck from that mini set. It was crazy. But other than that, they've kind of kept true to it, and they have nerfed like clear outliers. Like if you actually look at Lost Evangora, we did have nerfs, but only 2. There's only been 2 nerfs so far, which is crazy when, again, Perils and Whizbang had well over 20, closer to 30 for each of them. We had Low the Living Legend nerfed. I think it was Hot Spring Glider got nerfed, right, for Quest Paladin. That's it. That's all we've gotten. That's pretty crazy to think how far we've come, where we're nerfing like every card or like so much stuff to, yeah, we've gone 2 months without a change. And if you would look at like this set, what would you even nerf? Like there's not much. I'm not calling for any nerfs to Angoro, other than, we'll talk about this at another time, I am really worried about this card being too good with the next set. I think they got over buffed, but again, we'll talk about that at a future date. I don't want to doom call too soon, but it really does show that it does, to me, it doesn't seem like we're going back to the Brode era where, yeah, the Undertaker takes like 7 months to get nerfed. I feel like this is just something we haven't seen before, where they are actively trying to lower power level, and they're just in the kind of a rotation waiting room thing. And like, I feel like this expansion, a lot of people are saying like it doesn't look, it's incredibly powerful. There'll be stuff that probably is good, probably we'll see some play, but overall it's gonna be nothing like Perils was, nothing like Whizbang was, which just dictated everything, and we just haven't seen this in so long. It's just kind of crazy to think that the balance changes have been so little. And if you're finding yourself really bored with Hearthstone, really complacent and frustrated, you're not alone, because yeah, we've just had so few changes. And when you look at like cards and like what's the most popular stuff, Ziliax in half the decks, Elise in half the decks, Xavius, Ysera, Ceaseless, Fyrakk, all this stuff in like a quarter of the decks. Yeah, it gets pretty tiresome to face the same stuff over and over and over again. So let's hope this set does kind of buck the trend a little bit. Maybe it's got a little bit more spice, but I'm just gonna put it out there, put a little warning out there that we might be in for another 4 months of, you know, just like okay stuff, and then the next rotation would be bonkers. Like I do think next rotation looks pretty crazy with everything that's rotating. That'll be a whole different discussion at a whole different time, but yeah, for the first time I would say since Ben Brode left to make Marvel Snap a very fairly monetized game or whatever. I like Snap, I just hate its monetization so much I had to quit it. That yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I did want to give an honorable shout out at the very end here to Black Rock Mountain, which is still, with the nerf to Mr. Clocksworth, by the way, it technically is a card from across the timeways. Black Rock Mountain remains the only unnerfed expansion ever, unless you want to argue that Grim Patron got Warsong killed, or they had to cap the corpse explosion around Grim Patron. But overall, no direct nerfs have yet to happen to that adventure. No other content drop in Hearthstone has that, unless you want to count mini sets, but mini sets typically count as an expansion, so I don't know how you go with that. Anyways, make sure to get your free stuff today. If you, again, reminder, over at twitch.tv/Zeddy will be theory crafting, and you can get the fastest drops and maybe some mega bundles and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day. Stay salty, my friends.